Hello students. So let's begin another chapter, that is a neural control and coordination. Fine. So again here the function of organ system in our body, they must be coordinated and they are maintained the homeostasis. Okay. The function of every organ and organ system in our body, they are maintained and they are coordinated and for the homeostasis. And the coordination is a process where through which the two or more organs they interact and they complement. So what is coordination? Coordination means in which in our body two or more organs they coordinate and they interact with each other. Fine. So again here for if we do any exercise, okay, if we do any exercise, then there is a expenditure of more energy. Fine. So we need to spend more energy, then more oxygen will be supplied in our body, then also there will be increase in the heartbeat and increase in the blood circulation in the heart will takes place. Fine. When we do exercise, so in the complete coordination will be taken place in our body. When we stop the physical work or when we stop the work, then all the organs they will come back to the normal position. Means the work coordination will be less, they come to the normal position. Fine. So for each and every function the coordination is the must in our body. So in this chapter firstly we are discussing regarding the neural system, then human neural system, neuron as the structural and the functional unit of neural system, that is the structure of neuron will be discussing. Then the central neural system, reflex action and the reflex arc, sensory reception and the processing. Fine. So these are the important concepts which we will be discussing in this chapter. Okay, these slides they are based on the NCERT only and very simple points and the simple slides these are. Fine. Just you can refer these slides. Okay. So what is coordination? Just now I have told you that coordination, it is nothing but it is a process through which two or more organs they interact and they complement the function to one another. Okay, so two or more organs, what they will do, they will interact and they will complement the function with one another. For example, when we do physical exercise, all our body part will coordinate. Whatever work will we do now, so all our body parts will coordinate. Okay, then the neural system, they are the endocrine system, neural system and the endocrine system, they are jointly coordinated. So the chapter name, that is name itself, that is neural control and the coordination, that is the neural system and the endocrine system, they jointly coordinate and integrate all the activity of the organ so that their function is synchronized. It is in the synchronized function. So both will play a very important role. One is the neural system and another one is the endocrine system. Fine. So what is coordination? Coordination is the process through which two or more organs interact and they complement the function of one another. Fine. So next comes the brief outline of the neural system. So again here this neural system, so generally it is divided into two parts. One is the central nervous system and the one is the peripheral nervous system. Central nervous system and peripheral nervous system. This central nervous system, it is divided into two parts. One is the brain and another one is the spinal cord. Brain and spinal cord. Peripheral nervous system divided into two parts. One is the somatic neural system and autonomic neural system. Somatic neural system and autonomic neural system. SNS and ANS. Central nervous system CNS and peripheral nervous system PNS. Then further, autonomic nervous system, it is divided into two parts. One is sympathetic neural system and parasympathetic neural system. Okay. So this is a brief description regarding the neural system. So neural system, ಸೊ ನಾವು ಇವಾಗ ಯಾವ ಚಾಪ್ಟರ್ ಸ್ಟಡಿ ಮಾಡ್ಲತ್ತೀವಿ, ನ್ಯೂರಲ್ ಕಂಟ್ರೋಲ್ ಮತ್ತು ಕೋಆರ್ಡಿನೇಷನ್ ಚಾಪ್ಟರ್. ಸೊ ನಮ್ಮ ಬಾಡಿ ಒಳಗೆ ಪ್ರತಿಯೊಂದು ಆರ್ಗನ್ಸ್ ದೇ ಆರ್ ಕೋಆರ್ಡಿನೇಟೆಡ್ ಟು ಈಚ್ ಅದರ್, ಒಂದಕ್ಕೊಂದು ಕೋಆರ್ಡಿನೇಷನ್ ಇರ್ತದೆ, ಹೌದಾ? ಸೊ ಒಂದು ಕೋಆರ್ಡಿನೇಷನ್ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಫಂಕ್ಷನ್ನೇ ಆಗಂಗಿಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ ಇವಾಗ ನಾವು ಏನು ಸ್ಟಡಿ ಮಾಡ್ಲತ್ತೀವಿ, ನ್ಯೂರಲ್ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ ಒಳಗೆ ಯಾವ್ಯಾವ ಪಾರ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಇದಾವೆ ಅಂತ ಸ್ಟಡಿ ಮಾಡ್ಲತ್ತೀವಿ. ಸೊ ನ್ಯೂರಲ್ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಮೇನ್ಲಿ ಅಸೋಸಿಯೇಟೆಡ್ ವಿತ್ ಟೂ ಪಾರ್ಟ್ಸ್. ಒನ್ ಇಸ್ ಸೆಂಟ್ರಲ್ ನರ್ವಸ್ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ ಮತ್ತು ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಪೆರಿಫೆರಲ್ ನರ್ವಸ್ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ ಅದ, CNS ಮತ್ತು PNS ಅದ. ಓಕೆ, ಸೆಂಟ್ರಲ್ ನರ್ವಸ್ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ನಾಗ 2 ಪಾರ್ಟ್ ಬರ್ತಾವೆ, ಒಂದು ಬ್ರೈನ್ ಮತ್ತು ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಸ್ಪೈನಲ್ ಕಾರ್ಡ್ ಅದ. ಮತ್ತು ಪೆರಿಫೆರಲ್ ನರ್ವಸ್ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ನಾಗ 2 ಪಾರ್ಟ್ ಬರ್ತಾವೆ, ಒಂದು ಸೊಮ್ಯಾಟಿಕ್ ನ್ಯೂರಲ್ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ ಮತ್ತು ಆಟೋನಾಮಿಕ್ ನ್ಯೂರಲ್ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್. ಸೊಮ್ಯಾಟಿಕ್ ನ್ಯೂರಲ್ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್, ಆಟೋನಾಮಿಕ್ ನ್ಯೂರಲ್ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್. Autonomic neural system 2 types, one is sympathetic neural system and another one is the parasympathetic neural system. Okay, next comes the neural system. So this neural system of all the animals, it is composed of highly specialized cells called as neurons. Okay, it is made up of highly specialized cells which are called as neurons, which detect, receive and transmit different kind of stimuli. Okay, what does this neuron will do? This neuron it will detect, receive and transmit. ರಿಸೀವ್ ಮಾಡ್ತದೆ ಮತ್ತು ಸಿಗ್ನಲ್ ಸ್ಟಿಮ್ಯುಲೇಟ್ ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತದೆ, ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಮಿಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಹೆಲ್ಪ್ ಮಾಡ್ತದೆ. ಫೈನ್. ದೆನ್ ದ ನ್ಯೂರಲ್ ಆರ್ಗನೈಸೇಷನ್ ಈಸ್ ವೆರಿ ಸಿಂಪಲ್ ಇನ್ ಲೋವರ್ ವರ್ಟಿಬ್ರೇಟ್ಸ್. ಫಾರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಇನ್ ಹೈಡ್ರಾ ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಕಂಪೋಸ್ಡ್ ಆಫ್ ನೆಟ್ವರ್ಕ್ ಆಫ್ ನ್ಯೂರಾನ್ಸ್. Then the neural system is better organized in insects where a brain is present along with the number of ganglia and the neural tissue. It is made up of a number of ganglia and the neural tissue. Then the vertebrates, they have the more developed neural system compared to the animals. You know, these vertebrates they have got well developed neural tissue. They have got well developed neural tissue system. Okay. Okay, this vertebrate they have got in case of vertebrates they have got well developed neural system. So hope you got what is neuron. Neuron, it is a structural and functional unit of the nervous tissue. So these neurons it is generally composed of neural system. It is composed of neurons which generally helps in detecting, receiving and transmit the different kind of stimuli. Fine. Next comes the neural system. It is divided into 2 parts. One is central nervous system and another one is the peripheral nervous system. Central nervous system, that is CNS, and peripheral nervous system, PNS. Central nervous system, it includes 2 parts. One is brain and the spinal cord. ನ್ಯೂರಲ್ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ನಾಗ 2 ಪಾರ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಡಿವೈಡ್ ಇರ್ತಾವೆ, 2 ಪಾರ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಇರ್ತಾವೆ. ಒಂದು ಸೆಂಟ್ರಲ್ ನರ್ವಸ್ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ ಅದ ಮತ್ತು ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಪೆರಿಫೆರಲ್ ನರ್ವಸ್ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ ಅದ. ಓಕೆ, ಸೆಂಟ್ರಲ್ ನರ್ವಸ್ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ includes 2 parts. One is brain and another one is the spinal cord. Central nervous system includes brain and the spinal cord. Then the peripheral nervous system, it comprises of all the nerves of the body which is associated with central nervous system. Peripheral nervous system comprises of all the nerves of the body associated with central nervous system. The nerve fibers of peripheral nervous system, again it is divided into 2 types. The nerves of peripheral nervous system, that is PNS, it is divided into 2 types. One is afferent fibers and afferent fibers and efferent fibers. ಏನು afferent efferent fibers ಅಂದರೆ they are the nerve fibers of peripheral nervous system. Okay, first is the afferent fibers. So what is the function of this afferent fibers? Afferent fibers are those nerve sense, it stimulate, transfer message from sensory neurons. Okay, sensory neurons to peripheral nervous system, that is PNS. Afferent fibers ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತದ ಅದು this nerve the senses nerve senses stimulus, they transfer message. Generally afferent fibers, they transfer messages from sensory neurons to peripheral nervous system. Sensory neurons to peripheral nervous system. Efferent fibers, this now it takes base messages from motor neurons to peripheral nervous system. Motor neurons to only motor neuron, they carry the message to motor neuron. Okay, so ಸೆಂಟ್ರಲ್ ನರ್ವಸ್ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ನಾಗ 2 ಪಾರ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಯಾವ್ಯಾವ ಇರ್ತವೆ, ಬ್ರೈನ್ ಮತ್ತು ಸ್ಪೈನಲ್ ಕಾರ್ಡ್ ಇರ್ತದೆ. ಮತ್ತು ಪೆರಿಫೆರಲ್ ನರ್ವಸ್ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ನಾಗ 2 ಪಾರ್ಟ್ ಯಾವ್ಯಾವು, afferent fibers ಮತ್ತು efferent fibers. Afferent fibers, they carries the or they transfer the messages from sensory neuron to PNS, and efferent, they will carry the message to the motor neuron. Okay, then peripheral nervous system, again it is divided into 2 divisions. One is somatic neural system and another one is the autonomic neural system. Somatic neural system and autonomic neural system. Somatic neural system, generally it will implies the central nervous system of the skeletal muscles. Somatic neural system, it implies from the central nervous system to skeletal muscles. Then autonomic nervous system, it transmits impulse from the central nervous system to involuntary organs and the smooth muscles of the body. Autonomic somatic neural system ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತದ, it will transfer the impulse from central nervous system to skeletal muscles. ಅಂದರೆ ಮೆಸೇಜಸ್ ಇಲ್ಲ ಸೆಂಟ್ರಲ್ ನರ್ವಸ್ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ ಟು ಸ್ಕೆಲೆಟಲ್ ಮಸಲ್ ಕ್ಯಾರಿ ಮಾಡ್ತದೆ. ಓಕೆ, autonomic neural system ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತದ, it will transmit impulse from central nervous system to the involuntary organs and smooth muscles of the body. Involuntary organs and smooth muscles of the body. Autonomic neural system is further divided into two types. One is sympathetic neural system and another one is the parasympathetic nervous system. Further ಏನಾಗ್ತದೆ ಅಂದರೆ autonomic neural system, it is divided into two parts. One is sympathetic neural system, another one is the parasympathetic neural system. Okay, we'll see one by one. So this is structure of neuron structure ಅದಾಯಿತು, ಡಯಾಗ್ರಾಮೆಟಿಕ್ ಓವರ್ವ್ಯೂ ಆಫ್ ನ್ಯೂರಾನ್. ಸೊ ಆಸ್ ಯು ಆಲ್ರೆಡಿ ನೀವು ಡಯಾಗ್ರಾಮ್ ನ್ಯೂರಾನ್ ಸ್ಟಡಿ ಮಾಡಿ ನಿಮ್ಮದು ಲೋವರ್ ಕ್ಲಾಸಸ್ನಾಗ ಡಯಾಗ್ರಾಮ್ನು ಹಾಕಿರಿ, ಮತ್ತು ಇದು ಡಯಾಗ್ರಾಮ್ ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಚರಲ್ ಆರ್ಗನೈಸೇಷನ್ ಚಾಪ್ಟರ್ ನೇಮ್ನು ಹಾಕಿದ್ದದ. ಓಕೆ, ಪೀಪಲ್ ಆರ್ ವೆರಿ ಮಚ್ ಫೆಮಿಲಿಯರ್ ವಿತ್ ದಿಸ್ ಡಯಾಗ್ರಾಮ್. ಸೊ ದ ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಚರ್ ಆಫ್ ನ್ಯೂರಾನ್ it is a structure and functional unit of the nervous system. So generally it is divided into three main parts. One is cell body, dendrites, and another one is the axon. It is mainly divided into three important parts. Okay. So neuron, it is divided into three important parts. This is a complete portion, we call it as cell body, and this cell body, it is having a long thread like structures which are known as dendrites, and the long body, this is known as the axon. Fine. Then within the cell body, it is made up of mitochondria. Then it is having the nucleus and this outer covering, we call it as myelin sheath, and the node which is present in between, they are called as road of Wenner, and they are present specialized cells which are known as Schwann cells. At the junction between two knobs, which is known as synaptic knob, and at the end is the axon terminal. Fine. So this is a structure of the neuron. So what is a neuron? Neuron is a structural and the functional unit of the neural system. Okay, so we will see one by one what are its parts, explanation in detail. So neuron, it is a microscopic structure and the function of nervous system. It is composed of three major parts, namely cell body, dendrites, and axon. Okay, these are the three important parts of the neuron. One is cell body, dendrites, and axon. Next is the Nessels granule. So the cell body, it contains a cytoplasmic with the typical cell organelles and certain granule bodies. Cell body contains cytoplasm with typical cell organelles and contain granular bodies. Fine. Then comes the dendrites. So these dendrites, they are the short fibers which branch repeatedly and they project out of the cell body. They branch repeatedly and they move out of the cell body. These fibers, they transmit impulse towards the cell body. They carry the messages towards the cell body. Then axon is the elongated fiber of the cell body and the end is branched. Then synaptic knob, the end of the branched axon, they have got a bulb-like structure which possesses a synaptic knob, and the synaptic vesicles containing the chemicals which is called as neurotransmitters. Synaptic vesicles, they are having the chemicals which are called as neurotransmitters. This neurotransmitter is a chemical which takes part in transfer of the message to the other neuron. From one neuron to another neuron, the message will be transferred through the synaptic vesicles. Fine. So these are the different parts on Nessels granules, dendrites, axon, synaptic knob, and the synaptic vesicles. Okay. So this is the structure of the neuron. It's clear? So this structure of neuron, it is important. The diagram is also important and explanation is also important. Next comes the types of neurons. So again here neurons are having three types of neurons are there. Okay, so one is multipolar neuron, bipolar neuron and unipolar neuron. Okay, three types of neuron are there: multipolar neuron, bipolar neuron and unipolar neuron. So we'll see one by one what are its definitions. So far ಇಲ್ಲಿವರೆಗೂ ನಾವೇನು ಸ್ಟಡಿ ಮಾಡಿವಿ, ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಚರ್ ಆಫ್ ನ್ಯೂರಾನ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಸ್ಟಡಿ ಮಾಡಿವಿ, ಹೌದಾ? ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಚರ್ ಆಫ್ ನ್ಯೂರಾನ್ ಮತ್ತು ನ್ಯೂರಾನ್ ಒಳಗೆ ಯಾವ್ಯಾವ ಬೇರೆ ಬೇರೆ ಪಾರ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಇದಾವೆ ಅಂತ ಸ್ಟಡಿ ಮಾಡಿವಿ. ಈಗ ಟೈಪ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ನ್ಯೂರಾನ್ಸ್ ಅದಾವ. ಸೊ ನ್ಯೂರಾನ್ ಒಳಗೆ 3 ಟೈಪ್ಸ್ ಇದಾವೆ. ಒಂದು ಮಲ್ಟಿಪೋಲಾರ್ ನ್ಯೂರಾನ್, bipolar neuron and unipolar neuron. Fine. So multipolar neuron with one axon and 2 to 3 dendrites, they are found in the cerebral cortex. Multipolar neuron ಏನಿರ್ತದೆ, ಒಂದು ಎಕ್ಸಾನ್ ಇರ್ತದೆ, 2 to 2 ಅಥವಾ 3 ಭಾಳಷ್ಟು ಡೆಂಡ್ರೈಟ್ಸ್ ಇರ್ತವೆ. ಓಕೆ, ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಫೌಂಡ್ ಇನ್ ಸೆರಿಬ್ರಲ್ ಕಾರ್ಟೆಕ್ಸ್ ಇರ್ತದೆ ಮಲ್ಟಿಪೋಲಾರ್ ನ್ಯೂರಾನ್. bipolar neuron with one axon and one dendrites. ಬೈಪೋಲಾರ್ನಾಗ ಏನಿರ್ತದೆ, ಒಂದೇ ಎಕ್ಸಾನ್ ಇರ್ತದೆ ಮತ್ತು ಒಂದು ಡೆಂಡ್ರೈಟ್ ಇರ್ತದೆ. ಇದು ಬೈಪೋಲಾರ್ ಎಲ್ಲಿರ್ತದೆ ಅಂದರೆ ಜನರಲ್ ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಸೀನ್ ಇನ್ ದಿ ರೆಟಿನಾ ಆಫ್ ದಿ ಐ, ಕಣ್ಣೊಳಗೆ ಇರ್ತದೆ, ರೆಟಿನಾ ಆಫ್ ದಿ ಐದಾಗ ಇರ್ತದೆ. ಯೂನಿಪೋಲಾರ್ ಎಲ್ಲಿರ್ತದೆ, ದ ಸೆಲ್ ಬಾಡಿ ವಿತ್ ಒನ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾನ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಫೌಂಡ್ ಯೂಶ್ವಲಿ ಇನ್ ದಿ ಎಂಬ್ರಿಯಾನಿಕ್ ಸ್ಟೇಜಸ್. ಯೂನಿಪೋಲಾರ್ ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟ್ ಓನ್ಲಿ ಇನ್ ದಿ ಎಂಬ್ರಿಯಾನಿಕ್ ಸ್ಟೇಜಸ್, ಅರ್ಲಿ ಡೆವಲಪ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಲೈಫ್ ಒಳಗಷ್ಟೇ ಯೂನಿಪೋಲಾರ್ ಇರ್ತದೆ, where it is having only one axon. Fine, uni means one, bi means two, multi means many. Fine, these are the 3 types of neurons: multipolar neuron, bipolar neuron and unipolar neuron. Hope it is clear. Fine. Next, there are 2 types of axon, namely myelinated and non-myelinated. Myelinated axon and non-myelinated. So myelinated nerve fibers, they are found in the spinal and the cranial nerves. Myelinated is found in the fibers found in spinal and cranial nerves. Myelinated nerve fibers, they are enveloped by the Schwann cells. Generally they have envelope which is called as Schwann cells, which form the myelin sheath around the axon. It will form the myelin sheath around the axon, and the gap between the 2 adjacent myelin sheath, they are known as node of Ranviers. Okay, the gap which is present between the 2 adjacent myelin sheath, they are called as node of Ranvier. Then non-myelinated nerve fibers, it is enclosed by the Schwann cells and it does not form any myelin sheath around the axon. It will not form any myelin sheath around the axon, and it is commonly found in autonomous and somatic neural system. Autonomous and somatic neural system naga non-myelinated cells irtade. Fine. So myelinated and now, so far we are just discussed regarding the structure of the neurons and the types of the neurons. Okay, next in bartada generation and the conduction of nerve impulse. How the generation and the conduction of nerve impulse will takes place. So again here the neurons are excitable cells because their membrane are polarized. Neurons are excitable cells because their membranes are in polarized state. Then different types of ion channels are present on the neural membrane, and these ion channels are selectively permeable to the different ions. They are made up of ion channels. Some are permeable and some are non-selective permeable. Fine. So neurons are excitable cells because their membranes are in polarized state. Polarized state nag irtada. Fine. So again here there are 2 types of state potential. One is the electrical, another one is the electrical potential. Potential difference across the resting plasma membrane. Potential difference across the resting plasma membrane is called as resting potential, and the difference across the plasma membrane at the site A is called as action potential. Resting potential and action potential. These are the transmission of impulse. You can see in this diagram. From one neuron to the another, the impulse will be exchanged. So this is the diagrammatic wave which is showing the axon, terminal and synapses. This is a postsynaptic membrane, synaptic cleft, neurotransmitter. These are the vesicles and membrane fusion. So let me explain you this. Transmission of impulse. So again here in the transmission, the nerve impulse is transmitted from one neuron to the another neuron through a junction called synapse. Okay, so what is synapse? Synapse is a junction. It is a impulse which is transmitted from one neuron to the another neuron through a junction. It is called as synapse. This synapse, it is formed by the membrane of the presynaptic neuron and the postsynaptic neuron. It is formed by the membrane of presynaptic neuron and the postsynaptic neuron, which may or may not be separated by the gap which is called as synaptic cleft. Which may or may not be separated by the gap which is called as synaptic cleft. Fine. So again here there are two types of synapses are there. One is electrical synapses and the one is the chemical synapses. Electrical synapses and chemical synapses. Okay. So now again discussion ಮಾಡಲತ್ತೀವಿ transmission of impulses. ಹೌದಾ? So what is synapses? Impulse and transform ಆಗ್ತದೆ ಅಂತಂದರೆ through the synapse. What is synapse? The nerve impulse, it is transmitted from one neuron to the another neuron. One neuron ಲಿಂದ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ನ್ಯೂರಾನಿಗೆ ಏನು ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಫರ್ ಆಗ್ತದಲ್ಲ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಸಿನಾಪ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಇಲ್ಲ here it is a synapse. From one neuron to the another neuron, the impulse will be transformed and it is known as synapse. The nerve impulse, it is transmitted from one neuron to the another through the junction called synapses, and this synapses, it is formed by the membrane of the presynaptic neuron and postsynaptic neuron, which may or may not be separated by the gap called as synaptic cleft. Which may not be separated by the gap, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ synaptic cleft ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. So again the transformation or generally it will takes place by two synapses. One is electrical synapses and another one is the chemical synapses. Okay, so what is electrical synapses? So the membrane of presynaptic and the postsynaptic neuron, they are very closely proximate and it is a very rare in our system. The electrical current can flow directly from one neuron into the another across the synapses. This implies conduction along the single axon. Okay, the impulse of electrical synapse is always faster than that of the chemical synapse. So electrical impulse synapses ಏನಿರ್ತದೆ ಭಾಳ ಫಾಸ್ಟ್ ಇರ್ತದೆ when compared to the chemical synapses. ಮತ್ತು ಇಲ್ಲಿ electrical current which will be flow from directly from one neuron to the another neuron across the synaptic impulses. Okay, the single axon, along the single axon. Next ಏನದ chemical synapse ಅದ. So again here this chemical synapse, the membrane of pre and the postsynaptic neurons, they are separated by the fluid filled space which is called as synaptic cleft. Chemical synapses again ಇರ್ತದೆ ಅಂದರೆ pre and post synaptic neuron, they are separated by fluid filled space which is called as synaptic cleft. Synaptic cleft ಲಿಂದ ಎರಡು ಸಪ್ರೇಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಇರ್ತದೆ. ಓಕೆ, ಮತ್ತು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನ್ಯೂರೋ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಮಿಟರ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ಇನ್ವಾಲ್ವ್ಡ್ ಇನ್ ದಿ transmission of impulse at the synapses. So neurotransmitters, they plays an important role in the transmission of the impulse. Then the synaptic vesicles, they are filled with these neurotransmitters. Synaptic vesicles, they are filled by the transmitters. Fine. Then when an impulse, that is the action potential, arrives at the axon, it stimulates the movement of synaptic vesicles towards the membrane where there is a fuse with the plasma membrane and the release of the neurotransmitters in the synaptic cleft. So ಇಲ್ಲಿ neurotransmitter ಯಾವಾಗ ರಿಲೀಸ್ ಆಗ್ತದೆ ಅಂತಂದರೆ when there is a movement of synaptic vesicles, the movement of synaptic vesicles towards the membrane where they fuse with the plasma membrane. So during this time what happens? The neurotransmitters are released in the synaptic cleft. Synaptic cleft neurotransmitter release ಆಗ್ತದೆ. The released neurotransmitters bind to the synaptic receptors. The released neurotransmitters they binds with synaptic receptors. Here can vesicles release ಆಗ್ತದೆ. Fine. This is a diagrammatic view. Okay. The released neurotransmitters they bind to the specific receptors, and this binding open the ion channel along the entry of the ions, which generate the new potential developed either by the excitatory or by inhibitory, either by excitation or by inhibition. Fine. So this is the mechanism, transmission of impulse, terminal and the synapse. This diagram showing axon, terminal and the synapse, how the transmission of impulse will takes place in the synapse, synaptic cleft, and the electrical synapse, chemical synapses. Okay. Next comes the central nervous system. So central nervous system, the brain is the central information processing organ of our body. So you already know that the brain is a central information processing organ of our body, and it acts as the command and the control system. It acts as the command and the control system of our body. It controls the volunteer movement. It controls the volunteer movement and balance of body functioning, and it also helps in the balance of body functioning and the vital involuntary organs like lungs, heart, kidney, etc. All these involuntary organs are controlled by the central nervous system. Okay. Then the brain is protected by the skull, and it is covered by cranial meninges. So already skull and different types of bones which are present in the skull in detail we have already studied. So again this you have to keep in mind, that is the brain is protected by the skull and it is covered by cranial meninges, and this cranial meninges it is having three layers. Outer layer is called as dura mater, and middle layer is called as arachnoid, and the inner layer with brain tissues it is called as pia mater. Dura mater, arachnoid and pia mater. Fine. So these are the cranial meninges, three layers. So this is the diagram of the human brain. So already this diagram you know you have studied in your lower class. Meanwhile here also it is very much important, and it was asked it was asked for 5 marks. Very important question. Diagram itself is asked for 5 marks. So this is the cerebrum. This part is called as cerebral hemisphere, and this is the corpus callosum, this region, and here you can find the thalamus and the hypothalamus. So here is the midbrain, middle brain, and this is the hindbrain. So again in hindbrain, pons, cerebellum and the medulla, and this region is the spinal cord, and here you can see the cerebral aqueduct. Okay. So these are the different parts of the brain. You have to practice this diagram. So we'll see one by one what are the different parts of the brain here. So brain have 3 parts. First one is the forebrain. So here they have 3 main parts in the forebrain. One is cerebrum, thalamus and the hypothalamus. Cerebrum, thalamus and the hypothalamus. So all these 3 they comes under the forebrain. Cerebrum, thalamus and the hypothalamus. Okay, then the cerebrum longitudinal into 2 halves. It is longitudinally divided into 2 halves, which are termed as right and left cerebral hemisphere. Right cerebral hemisphere and left cerebral hemisphere, and they are connected by the tract of nerve fibers which are called as corpus callosum. They are connected by the tract of nerve fibers. They are called as corpus callosum, and the layer of cells which covers the cerebral hemisphere they are called as cerebral cortex. The covering of cerebral hemisphere it is called as cerebral cortex. The cerebral cortex is referred as grey matter. The cerebral cortex is referred as grey matter due to the greyish appearance due to the concentration of neuron. It contains motor, sensory areas and the large areas. These regions, they are called as association areas, and they are responsible for complex function like intersensory association, memory and the communication. Okay, so these are the functions of forebrain, which generally helps in intersensory association, memory and the communication. Fine. Next, the fibers of tracts, they are covered by the myelin sheath. Then inner part of the cerebral hemisphere and opaque white fibers are there. It is called as white matter, grey matter and the white matter. The cerebrum wraps around the structure which is called as thalamus. The cerebrum generally it is wrapped around by the structure called as thalamus, which is a major coordinating sensor for sensory and motor signals. It's a major part for sensory and the motor signals. Then comes the hypothalamus. Hypothalamus, it lies at the base of the thalamus. Hypothalamus, it will lies at the base of the thalamus. It contains a number of centers which control the body temperature. Hypothalamus, it will mainly helps in the controlling of body temperature and urge for eating and the drinking mechanism. Eating and drinking mechanism also it will control, and it also control several group of neurosecretory cells which secretes the hormones like hypothalamic hormone. The hypothalamus, it is involved in the regulation of sexual behavior and the expression of the emotional reactions. Okay, it is also responsible for hypothalamus hormones. This hypothalamus, it is also involved in the regulation of sexual behavior and expression of the emotional reactions. So this is a forebrain. These are the what are the functions of forebrain and what are the parts it is made up of. So generally forebrain, it is divided into two types. One is a right cerebral hemisphere and the left cerebral hemisphere, and it is mainly connected to the nerve fibers which is called as corpus callosum. Fine. So generally it contains motor, sensory and area of large areas function. Then presence of white matter and grey matter. Then the function of hypothalamus. Okay. Next comes the midbrain. So again here midbrain, it is located between the thalamus and the hypothalamus. It is located between the thalamus and the hypothalamus, midbrain. Here it is in between the thalamus and the hypothalamus. So again here a canal called cerebral aqueduct, it passes through the midbrain. Cerebral aqueduct, it passes through the midbrain. Then the dorsal portion of the midbrain contains mainly 4 round swelling lobes which is called as corpora quadrigamen. Okay, corpora quadrigamen, they are the 4 lobes which are located in the dorsal portion of the midbrain. Fine. So midbrain and hindbrain, they have the forms of the brain stem. They form the brain stem. Okay, midbrain and hindbrain, they forms the brain stem. Fine. That's a forebrain. So in forebrain, 2 parts you remember. One is cerebral aqueduct and cerebral quadrigamen. And midbrain and hindbrain, generally it will form the brain stem. Fine. Next comes the hindbrain. So hindbrain, again we have got 3 parts here. One is pons, cerebellum and medulla. Pons, cerebellum and medulla. So what are these pons? This pons, it consists of fiber tract that interconnect different regions of the brain. Bones, it will connect the fiber tracts. It will interconnect the different regions of the brain. So brain like very regions alla ondukondu connect agtave with the help of this bones. Then cerebellum has a very convoluted surface. They provide an extra space for many neurons. Cerebellum ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತದೆ ಬೇರೆ neuronsಗೆ ಜಾಗ ಮಾಡಿ ಕೊಡ್ತದೆ. Then medulla of the brain, it is connected to the spinal cord and it is involuntary mechanism, involuntary action, control involuntary action. So medulla function another, it will control the involuntary action. Cerebellum, it provides the extra space for many neurons. Then pons, it is an interconnect. Generally it consists of fiber tracts which interconnect the different region of the brain. Fine. So these are the different parts of the brain. One is forebrain, midbrain and hindbrain. Forebrain, midbrain and the hindbrain. Okay, this is the structure of the brain. Hope it is clear. Brain is clear to you. Forebrain, what are the parts associated in forebrain, midbrain and the hindbrain. Okay. So next comes the reflex action. So what is reflex action and the reflex arc? So this is a diagrammatic representation of reflex action. Reflex action and reflex arc, it is important, both the definitions are important. The entire process of response to the peripheral nervous stimulation, it occurs involuntarily without requires the involvement of the part of the central nervous system. It's called as reflex action without any involvement of the central nervous system. Fine. Whereas reflex arc, the reflex pathway, it comprises at least one afferent neuron, that is the receptor, and one efferent. What consists of one afferent neuron and one efferent neuron approximately, which is arranged in the series called as reflex arc. Reflex action and the reflex arc. Okay, these two definitions you have to keep in mind, they are important. So this is the diagrammatic way of reflex action and the reflex arc. It's also called as knee jerk movement. Just keep in mind their definitions. What is reflex action? The entire process of response to the peripheral stimulation that occurs involuntarily without require the involvement of a part of the central nervous system. Without any involvement of central nervous system, then we commonly call it as reflex action. Then reflex pathway, it comprises of one afferent neuron and one efferent neuron, which are arranged in a series, which are called as reflex arc. Okay. So this will come to the next class. So meanwhile, hope all these concepts are clear to you. Okay. Neural system. Types of neural system. What are the different schematic view of neural system? Structure of neuron. What are the different parts of the neuron? Then generation and conduction of nerve impulse. Resting potential, action potential. This is the transmission of impulse. Axon terminal and the synapse termination, transmission of impulse. Then central nervous system, that is the brain. Three parts of brain: forebrain, midbrain and hindbrain. Then reflex action and reflex arc. Okay, hope these concepts are clear to you.